Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Oh my gosh, I haven't been out on this front porch filming in a long time. Or was it just a couple days ago? I don't know, but it feels like it's been a long time since I've been out here filming a vlog, and it feels good. I have to tell you two things, first of all. First, this vlog almost didn't get made tonight because Alex came home from work a little bit early. It's actually like 5:30 right now. He's been home for about half an hour, and he texted me and he's like, I have to do like one more thing and then I'm going to be home. I'm going to stop by Chipotle on the way home. Do you want anything? And I was like, no, I'm good, because I'm probably going to try to eat what I have around the house tonight. Trying to do good. I don't know. I might have to order Cheesecake Factory. But we'll see. So anyway, I'm now like in my head, like, okay, let's just start it on Monday. Let's just start the healthy journey on Monday, because it's supposed to be warmer next week, so I can get outside and I can walk. Actually, today it is not too cold outside. Today it's not too bad. So, but I do have my heated vest on right now. I just plugged it. It's gonna go down in a second, then I have to put it back on to red. So anyway, so Alex came home and I said, I was trying to like rush and get my videos done. I did like an hour and 4-minute video about Natalia Grace today, and then I filmed a video for my Peter Does Stuff channel. I did not sleep well last night. We'll talk about that in just a second. I fell asleep easily, but I did not sleep well at all. I'm going to pull you guys in a little bit so I can sit back. And just made a cup of coffee. I actually haven't been drinking this coffee lately. I've been drinking Blueberry Crumble that was sent to me by, I believe, Joanne. And then I have been drinking... I'm trying to get rid of like all my Starbucks coffees that I have, so I've been drinking the Starbucks Holiday Blend, but this has, this is the Santa's, and it has 4 squirts, I think it's the tiramisu syrup in it. That's been like my favorite, because it makes it like a little bit of a darker blend, but the Barney's Santa's White Christmas is what I'm using today, because it's one of my favorites, and I haven't had it in a while. So anyway, I didn't even get, yesterday when we went on Cousin Fun Day, was that yesterday? It seems like so long ago. I didn't even get any iced coffee because I've been drinking so much hot coffee lately. But anyway, Alex came home and got his Chipotle out and he turned on the TV, and I said, what, he was like getting on Peacock, and I was like, what are you going to watch? And he was like, Traitors. And I go, oh good, because the 4th episode comes out tonight, so if you get caught up, we can watch the 4th episode together. Because I'd asked him if he wants to watch Traitors together, and he was like, yeah. He was like, but I'm going to go in and like watch it, whatever. So he started it. And I was like, make sure that you watch... He doesn't listen to anything I say. So I go, make sure that you watch the 2nd season, because the first 3 episodes are out, and then we can catch up. And he's just like looking at me like I'm crazy, because of course I'm giving him the rundown, right? I'm like, the first season is like half reality stars, half regular. He's just like looking at me like, can you just let me watch the show? I'm like, the first seasons, I get so excited about reality TV, obviously. So I said, the first season's just like half regular people, half regular contestants, half reality stars. The 2nd season's like an all-star, all-reality star cast. So he starts it, and I'm like running around getting stuff done and whatever, and he's playing, it's like the trailer comes on first for the season, and he's playing the trailer for season 1, and I go, no babe, this is season 1. He goes, yeah, I'm going to watch season 1 first. And I go, what? He goes, well, I want to know what this show's about, so I'm going to watch season 1 before I watch season 2. And I'm like, no, you can't do that, because we're supposed to watch season 2. He's like, I'll probably get finished with it tonight, so I can start watching season 2 tomorrow and then catch up with you. And I was like, okay. Something like that, he said. So he's like watching it, and I'm like uploading my drama video. I'm like breaking down these boxes to recycle that I got from Amazon, and getting them ready for the recycle stuff and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm doing that. Had fed Boo Radley, had taken him outside, and I bought this like calming duck for him. And so I was like, he was bored. So he like went over and smelled it, and then he was like done with it. So I put it in his little bed and stuff like, well, his bed downstairs. So anyway, so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, as I'm doing all this, I'm like through the corner of my eye, or out of the corner of my eye, I'm like watching him watching Traitors. Well, I'm not watching him, I'm watching Traitors on the TV show, right? And so I sit down on the couch for a couple minutes because I'm waiting for my drama video to like start, get done rendering so I can upload it. And then I'm waiting for my Amazon. I did an Amazon haul on my Peter Does Stuff channel, so I'm waiting for, did I already say that? I probably did. I'm waiting for that video to render so that I can finish that. I'm making coffee. I made a cup of coffee earlier, but it got cold, so I just pitched it and made a new cup of coffee. I know, waste not, want not, but I did. So anyway, sometimes I warm up my coffee, but I just don't think it tastes as good. My mom used to always, like, she would make instant coffee and she would warm it up like 3 times in the microwave because she would let it get cold. So anyway, so I kept on sitting down on the couch, and like they were picking the traders, and I don't want to say anything to him, like, right? Like I wanted to say, like, who's your favorite so far? Well, I love Suri. I didn't want to say that because I don't want to give any hints away about anybody, you know? So I'm sitting there and I'm watching, I'm like, oh, and I don't want to say, like, I forgot they were on, because if I say that, then he is going to think, like, oh, they got... And he thinks, like, he listens to what I say, and then he thinks, like, you know, whatever. And he'll be like, you told me that you didn't remember them, so they must have got kicked off early or something. So I don't want to say anything. So I'm trying not to say anything, right? And I'm like, do you know what the difference is between season 1 and season 2? He's like literally like eating chips and guac from Chipotle. He looks over at me like, can you just let me watch the show? I go, he goes, I can watch the show. I can figure it out. I go, okay. So I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, I forgot how good season 1 of Traders. It's Traders US. I know there's Traders in other countries. I'm going to go watch those too. But I was like, I forgot how good the first season was. So tonight my husband will probably be consumed with watching Traders season 1. Now, US season 1. The reason why this vlog almost didn't get made was because I got so consumed sitting on the couch. I'm not somebody that watches like reality TV shows over and over and over again. Although I haven't watched... I think I've seen one season that Suri Fields was on Survivor, and the other ones I didn't see her on. So I'm thinking about going back and watching like old seasons of Survivor. But Survivor is getting ready to start again in February, and the new season of Survivor and the new season of Amazing Race is getting ready to start in March. So I'm excited about that. But anyway, so I was just going to sit there and watch the whole first episode with him. I was like, no, you got to go vlog. You got to go vlog. Then you can watch whatever you want to watch. And tonight I'm going to watch, well, of course, Vanderpump Rules. I'm on season 6 where Jax cheats on Brittany with Faith, and she just got back from Vegas. That's where I'm at in Vanderpump Rules. Nothing ever surprises me about Jax. But if you didn't know this, so last night was it was like the pump premiere of Vanderpump Rules, the new season. And I think Emily Baker was there. And so I was just talking to her not too long ago about going to BravoCon next year, and she didn't say nothing about going to this. If I had known that, I would have been like, girl, I'm going with you. So anyway, because I told her, I said, next year we're going to like go to BravoCon together. And she was like, let's go. She's like, I love BravoCon. So anyway, so they showed a premiere of a new show that's a Vanderpump Rules spinoff that's coming this spring, and it's called The Valley. And it's got Jax and Brittany on it as a couple, like, living in the valley. And it's got Kristen and her boyfriend, Luke, on it. And then it's got, like, 2 or 3 other couples. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they're from later seasons of Vanderpump Rules that I haven't watched yet. I don't know who they are. But it's apparently, like, a spinoff of Vanderpump Rules. So I put it on my Instagram story if you want to go see it, or you can look at Queens of Bravo. Queens of Bravo on Instagram has it. I think they also put it on Twitter, but they have it on their I think on Instagram and Twitter they put the premiere or the trailer promo is what they put up, so you can go see it if you want to see that. But anyway, tonight I'm going to watch Vanderpump Rules, of course, La Brea, Traders. What else comes out tonight? Something else comes out tonight. I don't have my phone out here, so I don't know. But then Tanya told me about this new true crime documentary that came out on Netflix. She like binge watched it yesterday. She said it's so good. It's called American Nightmare. She texted me and she was like, well, we talked. And then she texted me and she was like, you've got to watch this. This is so good. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to watch that tonight too. I'll probably start with that. Well, maybe I'll start with La Brea and try to get La Brea done. Because I'm almost caught up on all of my shows except for Life After Lockup. I probably need to watch an episode of that tonight too. See, I'm getting down to the wire with Vanderpump Rules. And last night I didn't stay up as late as I usually do. So this is what happened. So last night I didn't stay up as late as I usually do, and so I didn't get as many episodes of Vanderpump Rules in. I know, tragedy of the world, right? And so, because I was like, I started getting really, really tired watching the show, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed. I took a nap last night, and then got up, watched some shows, and then I got tired kind of early, so I didn't take a long nap. So Alex brought me, he went to that thing last night with his friend. He got home real early last night. He was home by like, I think it ended between like 8 and 8:30, but he was home by like 8:30. He brought me little macaroon cookies. Are they called macarons, macaroons? I don't know, but he brought me little cookies and stuff like that. He had a good time. I don't think it was something that I would have wanted to go to, so I'm glad he had a good time. And we talked for a little bit when he got home. I think that's when I laid down. He was watching TikToks or something. So anyway, so last night I went to bed. I took my trazodone. I don't think I had taken my trazodone in like 2 days. My trazodone has never given me nightmares. So if people come out here and they say, oh, I get nightmares from my trazodone, if that's what this is from, I don't know, but this has never happened to me before. I've never had nightmares from my trazodone. When I was younger, like in high school and before that and stuff, and even into my 20s, I had night terrors. And there's a difference between nightmares and night terrors, where I would wake up and literally it's like the bed is drenched because you've sweat so much in your sleep, and like you're terrified in your sleep. And I would wake up, I mean, several nights a week where I literally like, it's almost kind of like, I can remember the first couple times it happened to me and I thought I had wet the bed. And it feels like that, but literally it's like your pillowcase, your neck, I mean, you're just drenched in sweat, right? Well, last night I woke up, first time I had a nightmare. It was like an hour after I'd gone to sleep, which is interesting because the nightmare, I remember it. It was very, very long, and it had a lot of people in my life. Like when I woke up, I was like, it was so weird. I was like, because it wasn't like a super scary dream, but like in my dream, it was kind of like an adventure. Like I was like with these other people and we were like running and I was like darting this and people were like trying to get us and stuff like that and kill us. And we were like, come over here, come over here. And so I was like running the whole time. I don't know if that's why. But I was scared in my dream. But there were like, I would like run places and I would see people like I had gone to, like friends of mine in high school, people that I used to work with, people that I've known in recovery. It was like weird. And I woke up and I like panicked when I woke up because I was like, am I having like all these memories like from all of these like people that I mean like, am I nearing the end or something? Like, it was so weird. Like, I had all these thoughts in my head, and I, like, woke up, and I was terrified. Alex was asleep, so I wasn't going to wake him up. Boo is asleep, and I literally, like, because I got up to go to the bathroom, like, I was, like, and I was so scared. Like, do you ever wake up, like, in a nightmare, and, like, you're still in the nightmare? Like, I felt like I was still in the nightmare. I was, like, shaking and stuff, and I woke up, and I threw the cover back, and, like, when I sat up, I was, like, my entire back, my neck, everything was just drenched in sweat. And so, so anyway, I came back to bed, and I just, like, I used to, like, when I was younger and I would have them, because my mom, from a very young age, like, she had me start a dream journal to remember my dreams. And I did that, but, like, through the years that kind of stopped. I didn't keep that as much, and then I would, like, but I would write down my, like, my night terrors and my nightmares. I think some therapist at some point recommended it to me to see if there were kind of, like, themes and things that were going on with the nightmares and the night terrors, so that I could kind of see if like what's going, like, is this about something or whatever. The thing is that usually when I would have them in the past, it would be about like me being stressed about stuff or me being worried about something. I don't feel like that at all. Like, I'm not even stressed about the TV shows that I'm watching. Like, nothing about them is stressing me out. I feel like the last couple days have been very relaxed. We got back from vacation. You know, everything's been great. And, so, I mean, even like with this conversation with our therapist the other night, because he was like, do you guys want to go to every 3 weeks? He was like, you know, it's not like we're discussing conflict or anything in our therapy sessions. We haven't for a long time. And like Alex and I talked about, we scheduled an appointment for another 2 weeks because we've been going every 2 weeks. When we originally started, we were going once a week to marriage counseling. And then that moved to every other week. And then we were going in between weeks individually. That was with our other therapist. And so Alex and I talked about it on the way home, and I said, like, what do you think? Because to me, 3 weeks is kind of like a press conference, like my mom used to refer to therapy. It's like you go in and you just kind of like, it's hard. Like 3 weeks is hard because so much has happened. And so if things have happened in 3 weeks, you know, but like anything that like bothers me or whatever, or anything that bothers Alex, like, we have the communication skills to bring up to each other now, like, to each other, so we don't rely on therapy for that, you know? And so we really talked about in our therapy session this week about how much we connected on our trip. And our therapist was talking about how important trips are for us because, you know, like, we have like such busy schedules that when we're on trips, like, you know, we need to schedule a few more trips, even if they're just like 1 or 2 day trips and things like that. And so that was one of the things that Alex and I were talking about. And how just so connected we were, and we like talked about stuff like told each other stuff that we'd never like talked about or I mean, it wasn't anything real deep. It was just like stories we've never told each other about our lives, you know, of our childhood and things like that on this trip. Just a really good trip. And we felt like really like intimately connected. And I don't just mean sexually, because there's like the 12 forms of intimacy, but like on every level, we just felt like really connected on this trip. And so like our therapist was like, well, do you guys want to go to like every 3 or every 4 weeks? And I was kind of like, I don't like, for me, like that's just such a disconnect of like, if we're going to go every 3 or 4 weeks, then do we need to even continue? It's kind of where we're at. But Alex and I have always believed that like marriage counseling is like a vocal coach to help even the greatest singer continue to improve themselves, right? So we talked about it on the way home, and I asked Alex what he thought. He goes, I mean, and he was thinking the same thing as me. He was like, I think if we're going to go to 3 or 4 weeks, we should just stop seeing him. He was like, but I don't want to stop seeing him. And I was like, well, I don't either. And I was like, do you think it's still helping us? He was like, yeah, I think that every time we go, we get something out of it. He's like, we can afford it. He was like, I think that, you know, there's a lot of other things that we spend money on that, you know, like aren't as helpful to our relationship. So we both agree that we're going to continue to go every 2 weeks. At least for the next year, you know, and then if we decide that we're not going to go anymore, we'll see. But for 2024, we're going to continue to go every other week. What was I saying about that? So that was good. Videos are good. I'm taking time off when I need to. I feel relaxed. I feel calm. Boo Radley's doing great right now. You know, all my family and friends. I mean, there's been some stuff going on with some friends of mine in recovery. I have a friend of mine that's going through some like medical issues that I've been kind of worried about, but I don't believe to the point where I would have night terrors. Like the night terrors back in the day were like when I was being extensively bullied on a daily basis. You know, like even some of the stuff that I talked about in 2023 has really slowed down a lot. I don't want to get into that, but you know what I'm talking about? Like a lot of that has really slowed down a lot recently. And I just kind of said that in this year I wasn't going to give it a lot of attention anyway, you know, other than like what I need to do behind the scenes and stuff like that, but I wasn't going to give it tons of attention. Because I think that there was a point where I was like really focusing on the negative on video and my personal life and all of that. I just didn't want to do, that's not where I want to give my time and my energy. And so I feel very calm and relaxed. So it was so weird that I had this nightmare. The second one, I woke up like 2-3 hours later, and it was the sheets, and it wasn't from before, because the first time, like the comforter on top wasn't like, it was the sheet underneath me that was like soaking wet. The comforter on top, this is where people will be like, Peter peed himself in bed. If I peed myself in bed, I would full on video get on here and admit it. There's no shame in that, you know? So anyway, I haven't for, I don't even know, God, like maybe when I was a kid. I wasn't like a bedwetter, but I knew people that were. I was a thumbsucker. I wasn't a bedwetter, but like I wouldn't be ashamed to admit. I'd get on video and be like, yeah, I peed the bed last night. When I drank, I would pee the bed sometimes. But no, I haven't done that. I mean, probably since before I got sober, you know? So anyway, but the first time, it was just mostly my back. The second time I woke up, I mean, it was my whole body. Was like literally, like my legs were like, it was like literally like I walked out of the ocean. I didn't remember anything about my nightmare. I didn't remember anything about whether it was a nightmare or night terrors. You literally feel like you're stuck in it. You can't get out. I didn't feel like, I didn't remember anything. I just like woke up. But what I noticed was the comforter on top, like I had my arms like over it, like it was drenched where my arms were laying on top of it. Alex said I was like jerking like crazy, like in bed. So I got up and I like went to the bathroom, came downstairs, had a glass of water. I just was like really shaken. I was like, why am I having 2 nightmares back to back in one nightmare, in one night? You know, it was really bizarre. So, and then I kind of like just like sat there for a second downstairs, like in the quiet, in the dark, and then I went back to bed and I fell asleep again. So I don't know what that's from. I have no idea. It was the most bizarre thing. And then I got up today and I felt pretty rested. I actually was going to get up at like 11:30, and I ended up resetting my alarm for like, I think like 1:30, and then Boo woke me up at like 12:45, something like that, or 1, and I got up then. I felt fully rested. I don't know what the nightmares were about. Isn't that so freaky? I haven't had nightmares it's been a long time. So yeah, that was last night my sleep. Last night I watched, what did I watch last night? Oh, 1,000 Pound Sisters I watched. Vanderpump Rules, but just a couple episodes. I only watched like 2 or 3 episodes, which is not as much as I have been watching. Watched Thousand Pound Sisters. I watched something else. What was I watching earlier in the night? I'm trying to think of... Below Deck Mediterranean. Was that last night that I watched it, or was it the night before? I feel like I watched that the night before. I don't know. But yeah, then I got up today and made the bed and, took little Boo Radley out, gave him some treats, made the bed, and then did my like morning facial routine. I've been pretty good about doing that every morning. What I need to be good about is when I go to bed at night. Because usually when I go to bed at night, like by the time I go to bed, I'm so tired. Like I'm either like so tired or like I take the trazodone and I'm not tired, but I'm trying to like force myself to just lay in bed and be still so it takes effect. But what I need to do about a half an hour before that is I need to come upstairs and do my whole face routine and wash it and exfoliate it, wash it, and then do like the sprays and all that, and then do like a hydrating face mask and a hydrating lip mask. I love that Laneige hydrating lip mask because my lips have been a little bit chapped this winter. They usually they do, but like they're worse this year. It's like skin's coming off of them. So anyway, I need to do that at night and then come downstairs and maybe, I haven't drank Sleepy Time tea in a while, and maybe like drink a cup of Sleepy Time tea and like read a meditation or 2 before I go to bed, and then take my trazodone. I need to get in the routine of doing that because I've kind of gotten away from that. And then I'd be doing a nighttime skin routine and a morning skin routine. I have to tell you, I have really noticed a huge difference. I mean, my skin has never really been bad, but I've noticed a huge difference since I've been doing the morning routine in my skin. Like I would say 3 to 4 months ago, I had like really, I mean, I still do get bad bags underneath my eyes when I wake up. I don't know why. It's like, it's like, I mean, people will be like, well, you stay up so late, but I still get the same amount of sleep as everybody else does, But these yes to cucumber things underneath my eyes have really, really been working. I've been doing spa days here and there too. I don't know. I think drinking a lot of water, but I don't think I'm drinking any more water now than I have been before. I'll do like, while I'm watching TV at night, I'll do like a cup of coffee and then like 2 glasses of water, a Diet Coke, glass of water. Oh, Caroline and I, when we went to the gas station the other day, she was like, just get them from Costco when we were there. I was like, I don't want to carry that big pallet of Diet Cokes inside. So I went to the gas station that was the last thing that we did before we came home, to get Diet Coke. So they were out of Diet Coke. I get like the 15 case of it. They were out of Diet Cokes, and so I was like, well, what should I get instead? And they had Diet Dr. Pepper, and I love Diet Dr. Pepper. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to get Diet Dr. Pepper. And so I even said to the woman, I was like, you guys are completely out of Diet Coke. Last night, I had 2 Diet Dr. Peppers, and Caroline said to me the other day, she said, was yesterday Cousin Fun Day? What is today, Thursday? Yeah. Caroline said to me, she said, how much Diet Coke do you usually drink? And I go, I mean, it just depends on kind of the day. And she was like, okay, on a regular day. I said 2 Diet Coke. She goes, on a good day. I said 4 to 5. She goes, you're drinking that much diet soda. I said, I know it's bad for me. I know it's horrible. I said, I went through a period where I wasn't drinking it at all. And I made this huge stance. I'm done with diet soda. I said, but I'm back. Well, last night, this Diet Dr. Pepper on my tumbler, what do you call that, Tervis tumbler cup, and with ice in it and stuff. Like, I had forgotten how much I loved Diet Dr. Pepper. Like, I had totally forgotten how much I loved Diet Dr. Pepper. It was so good. So yeah, got up today, and then I was like doing stuff around the house, and Alex texted me and he said, hey, I'm gonna be home a little bit early today. I've got to do these other things. I was like, okay, I got it. I said, well, I'm trying to make this longer video. And it's serious. Like, when I'm filming, like if he walks in the background while I'm filming a vlog, I could care less. If he walks back and comes in while I'm doing like a funny haha fan flipping video, I don't really care. But I was doing this very serious video about Natalia Grace because I have some very serious opinions about it. And so I was like, because when he comes in, Boo Radley was running around and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to make sure I got at least that done before he came home. But he had like, at that point, he was like, he hadn't even left to go do the other thing that he had to go do. And then he was going to stop at Chipotle. So I had a while. So I finished that. Then I did the Amazon haul. And then he texted me and he was like on his way home from Chipotle. So he got his Chipotle bowl and his guacamole. I think he got it like a steak bowl. He usually gets like a steak bowl when he's there. And guacamole and chips and a Coke, and he's eating that watching Traders. So it's actually not too cold out here today. I'm kind of sad. The snow is. You can still see. You can see how happy Peter has been for the last couple days when it comes to this. Okay, but you can see we've had the snow has like stuck for the last couple days. Is it like? Come on. Sometimes the lighting on here is so bad, then it clears up. Do you see? That snow right there. See this over here? This over here? This is hard to do on camera. That all melted today. The rest, this was like over here, down. Okay, over here. I'm like looking at the camera trying to do this instead of my hand. Okay, over here was like over here. This morning when I woke up. So all this melted today. But it's been like an inch of snow outside on the ground for the last couple days. It's been so pretty. But it's been too cold to sit outside. So I've been sitting in my chair and all that kind of stuff. I have it like literally, I have a whole setup, you guys, okay? So I have a extension cord that it is hooked up into the wall over our little like bar sink in there where we keep the candles and stuff. And then I have that along the floor up against my chair so that my iPad is forever like charging so it doesn't die. And then I have that there. And then I have my glasses with my little glass case. And then I have one of these, but it's a different kind of glass cleaner. And then I have like my phone on the right hand side, or I keep it on the ottoman. And my AirPod case, and I have my whole setup there, and then I just sit like this in the chair all night long. My back was hurting for a long time, but I think because I've lost some weight, I think, like, I keep on, like, going up and down, up and down. I just need to do the work and get below 200. My doctors want it so bad. I just need to do the work and do it, because I just stay stagnant. Somebody was saying to me the other day, they were like, and I said it in a video, but they were like, how are you eating so bad and eating Cheesecake Factory every single day, and you're, like, maintaining or losing weight? I don't know. But it's not like I'm losing weight. Like, I mean, this is the deal. Like, I fluctuate between about 203 and like 211. And I go up and I go down. And I go up and I go down, depending on the day. And so, well, I think, like, when I do the work and I don't eat a lot and I get down to like 203, that's like, I need to be like, okay, now we're going to do it. We're going to get below 200, you know? So it's hard for me. Like, I was watching Tammy's husband, Caleb, who ends up passing away on 1,000 Pound Sisters, but he was talking about, like, since she's gone, like, you know, out of the rehab center, she's, like, emotionally eating and stuff like that. And I so relate to that emotional eating. And for me, it's like, at the end of the day, after getting everything done and, like, all, you know, the vlog, all I need to do is post it and everything is up. And I'm, like, sitting in that chair. It's like just to eat, like, dips and chips or, you know, Cheesecake Factory or Piata or whatever. It's just, like, so relaxing to me. It's, like, my reward at the end of the day, which is one of the things I've talked about with my sponsor and therapist and stuff like that, is that I view the reward of food very much in the same way that kind of at the beginning, not towards the end of my addiction, because I didn't see it as a reward. I just saw it as a necessity. But that I would, like, view, like, drinking and drugging as kind of a reward. Not for, like, oh, you accomplished so much, now go drink. But, you know, like, it's Friday, let's go drink kind of thing, you know? Or on the weekends, or I'm talking about more, not when I was 12, but, like, when I was, like, in high school and stuff like that. So, I don't know, it's weird, like, how I view food, you know? That, to some degree, like, I have a unnatural relationship with food. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love 1,000 Pound Sisters so much, is because they talk so much about their relationship with food. And I have a very bizarre, unnatural relationship with food. It's not just, I don't just eat to survive. It's like I have, like, certain foods for me have emotional attachments. And I'm not just talking about, like, oh, grandma made this at Christmas or my mom used to make that. It's not just that. It is that too. But it's like, I think my mom and I watch TV so much. Maybe this is what it's about. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking this as I go. But, like, my mom and I, we had, like, this little TV. It was, like, this big, you know, with the turn knobs on it, on the end of our kitchen table. It's like this wood block kitchen table. And we used to watch, like, Little House on the Prairie, Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, things like that, while we would eat dinner. Sometimes she would, like, we would eat for, like, 15 minutes, and she'd say, okay, you can turn on the TV. And then we would sit there and we would eat. She'd make dessert. She'd have a cup of coffee afterwards and read some of the paper. And I'd do, like, homework, or, you know, if I didn't have any homework, like, look at a book or whatever. And we'd watch these shows together, sitting there at the kitchen table. I can remember, it's like, I used to have this chair that, like, it was, like, the back of it was to the window that went to the woods, and I would, like, tip it back. And my mom would say, you're going to tip right out of that window one of these days. But we would sit there, you know, the kitchen table was a very homey, comforting place for me, you know? My mom every once in a while would have like a glass of wine, but that at dinner, but that wasn't where she drank. She usually my mom loved drinking milk. She would have like, the battery stopped. It's starting to get dark. I'm not gonna be able to make this the longest vlog. But my mom would have like a glass of milk and a glass of water every night for dinner. I always had a glass of milk, and then she would have a cup of coffee or two after dinner, and then we would kind of like go upstairs and watch TV or read or whatever. Put on our pajamas. And so I'm kind of wondering now if like maybe that's where it all came from, is that my mom and I often we would watch movies on the weekend and get pizza, like not get pizza. My mom's idea of getting pizza was like a tombstone pizza that you put in the oven. But we would have like pizza or like, it was like, food was always like, I can remember watching movies and I've said this before that she would do this because I didn't have a lot of friends and stuff, so she would buy like, candy and like make popcorn and put it in like the little brown lunch bags and stuff like that with like 25 cents on it, and she'd give me like fake money or whatever, and then I had to go through the concession stand like we were at the movie theater, but it was the kitchen island, and she'd make like crushed ice and the Cuisinart thing, and make like, pop with ice and whatever. It's like, but there's always this attachment to food and watching TV shows, and I still have that. It's like, honest to God, I can remember like years ago, like probably 10 years ago, watching RuPaul's Drag Race. And one of my favorite things to do was like when Alex and I like started watching it together. I mean, what, 15 years ago? I don't know how long the show's been on, but it was like Alex and I started watching it like year one. And I can remember that like before it came on, we would watch it like, as it was on. And before it came on, we would always go to Taco Bell and get like, tons of Taco Bell. And we would sit there and eat Taco Bell while we were watching RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, I still like associate certain foods. And so for me to sit in a chair and watch my iPad and eat food is so comforting and relaxing to me. I just have this bizarre relation. The tripod fell, and then when I started it, it started going way out of focus. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I was saying I have like this, really bizarre relationship with food, And on top of that, I have food addiction, body dysmorphia. It's been this like struggle for me, I wouldn't say my whole life, but I think since I was probably like junior high or high school, And the thing is like in a lot of the work that I've done, I don't know if this will make sense to a lot of people, but like if you've been there, you'll probably get it. Like, I don't know that I even equate like a weight loss journey necessarily with food. Like, it's the discussion of causation, right? It's like okay, like foods, like I can eat healthy and I can be active and all that kind of stuff. That's one whole thing, right? But then the emotional response that I have to food is a completely different demon to tackle, right? And it's a completely different thing that I need to talk about. And my husband just like walked outside. What is he doing? He's going through the garage. Hello? He just gave me the peace sign. Were you putting something in the trash?
Your thing.
Are you liking traders?
Sure, yeah.
Sure, yeah. It's like working on both of those together, right? It's like working on eating healthier, the health journey and all that kind of stuff, at the same time dealing with these emotional demons that I have of having body dysmorphia, having a food addiction, looking at why I like emotionally eat, looking at what food means to me on a deeper level, all that stuff together. And it's hard, and it seems like at times, like when I really think about it, it's like one thing to say, oh, on Monday I'm going to start eating healthier and start walking. But it's also like standing in front of the refrigerator or being in a line at the grocery store and being like, I want that so bad. Oh, and that reminds me of this, this, and this. And wouldn't it be so nice, and I'll just do it tomorrow. Wouldn't it be so nice to sit there and watch a movie tonight and have all these treats, and I'll just do this tomorrow. It's like all of that at the same time, right? It's a lot of stuff, And I don't talk on here a lot about all the work that I've done with my therapist and my sponsor, on my food addiction and, just my relationship to food and things like that. And it's about changing that mentality and changing that perspective, while at the same time getting my lazy butt motivated to get out here and walk, lift weights, be active. I actually last night, because I was watching 1,000 Pound Sisters, and Chris, Amanda, Misty, Tammy, and Amy go to Zumba classes. And years ago, I really wanted to do Zumba. I thought, so Alex was in this dance group. Well, Alex used to, when he was in high school, he danced for The Fever, which is a a WNBA team. That was his high school job. He was on the dance team for the Fever. And so he's always been, well, he hasn't always been, but like not now, but for a long time, like I would say the first half of our relationship, he was in like this dance group. It was like a hip hop dance group. And so the woman that was like the choreographer of this dance group, she had like a dance studio and things like that. And so she would have these recitals like quarterly. And like at the dance studio, it was like this huge dance studio. And they were just like the elite team or something that did like all these like really cool dances. There's all these people that had been like cheerleaders, pacemates, things like that. And there was like 10 of them. That was in Alex's group. And they were like the last ones that would always perform. But it was like all the way from like little kids doing ballet all the way through. But there was this adult group that like it was like 20 of them, and they came out there and they did this Zumba routine, and I can remember watching them and they were all like so happy, and I loved the music, and I was like, I think I could do this, like this would be good exercise for me, right? So I'm watching 1,000 Pound Sisters last night, and in it they go to a Zumba class, and so I was like, I should do Zumba. So it's not hard, it's not easy for me to get around to a million places unless I want to take all these Ubers. So I got online on YouTube and I looked, and there's actually all these Zumba classes online on YouTube. I'm sure there are people out there like, Peter, like you're new to this. This has been around for a while, right? But I honestly didn't know, you know, I mean, I assumed it as soon as I thought about it. I was like, I bet there's a bunch of Zumba classes on YouTube. So I looked, and there are. So I'm thinking about doing that too. And my neighbor just got her mail across the street. So, which is late for them. They usually get the mail early. So the mailman came today about like 12:30 or 1, because I was walking Boo Radley, and then as I was taking Boo Radley in, he was coming around. I think that was when it was. Yeah, it was early today, because sometimes he comes at like 6 at night. So, but anyway, I'm gonna like try to motivate myself to start doing Zumba too. The people that don't love me will live for that. They'll be like, Peter's starting Zumba. But no, it's like I have to do something that's going to be like exciting to me and stuff like that. It was cute. Alex came home yesterday and he was like, oh, you unboxed those weights finally. And I was like, yeah. He's like, they're really cute. I was like, yeah. And he was like, so are you going to start working out? I was like, I'm going to try to. I really am, you know. I'm not going to say 100% I'm going to do it every day. Like, I'm going to try to like get up and like devote like, you know, an hour to it or something like that. But I'm going to try, you know. Who knows? By this summer, maybe I'll be running 20 miles a day and Zumbaing here and there and everywhere, you know? You can't... What's the worst in trying, you know? You fail, then you try again, you know? So anyway, well, it's getting really dark, so I'm going to get off here, you guys, and start rendering this. And, yeah, and get off here. So I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Thursday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. I'm going to do a real short outro, so be kind to one another, be kind to yourself, love one another, love yourselves. Let's just put some kindness and love out there in the world. It's real easy, and it costs nothing, and it makes people feel better. It makes us feel better too, right? So anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Oh, and don't forget to reach out to somebody and just let them know that you're thinking about them, because it might make the whole difference in their lives. And also, like I always say, it might be putting a smile on their face. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.